5 signs you are unfit. 5 signs you're unfit. Okay, let's talk about them. Signs to look for. Well, there's a multitude of signs to look for and to feel and to experience that you're unfit. I'm going to look at 5 that I've actually felt myself in the past. You know, I'm 54 years young, so I've probably felt unfit many a times in my life, even though I've been training since I was 11. All right, let's start. Okay, and they're not the obvious ones. First sign you're unfit is that walking upstairs in your house, your home, your 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom house or home, you get out of breath, your legs ache, your back aches, your knees ache, your hips ache, you're unfit. Now you may think to yourself, well, I can walk upstairs to my bedroom in the evening to go to bed every night and I make it up there. Yeah, that's because you've got to make it up there. But how often do you not walk up steps or stairs throughout the day? You'd be quite surprised at the lengths that people go to not walk up a flight of stairs. Classic example, shopping centres or shops. You know, if you go somewhere like Primark in the UK, I think Primark's quite a big department store there, and it's always got like at least 2 floors. I think there are some in London that have got 3 or 4 floors, but we'll say 2. The amount of people that will take an escalator to get upstairs rather than walk up the stairs, and they're not always, you know, a single mum with 4 kids, you know, hanging off her, or a dad with 3 kids hanging off him, and he's got lots of shopping bags. Quite often they're normal, able-bodied people. Okay, so one of the first signs is how often do you walk up and down stairs in your house, at your home, in the workplace, or when you're out and about. Now, that's quite an easy tell, because you could probably guess within seconds the last time you walked up a flight of stairs that wasn't in your home, that wasn't in your house where you've got to go. Unless of course you live in a bungalow or a 1-bedroom or a single floor apartment when there's no stairs. Although sometimes if you've got a flat in the UK or an apartment in North America, as they call them, that could be, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 flights of, you know, 3 flights of stairs to get to your level. But of course you take the lift and you're not carrying 6 shopping bags or you've got a heavy load on your back. It's just easier. That's one of the quickest signs to know that you're unfit. Your musculoskeletal fitness is poor, your cardiovascular fitness is poor, your circulatory system's poor. That's an easy tell. That's number 1. It's not the number 1, but it's just one of the 5 I'm talking about. The second one is that you struggle to get out of bed in the morning. Yeah, and I'm not talking if you've got a cold or the flu, or you've got a work-related injury, a sports injury, you've just got through a night flight and you've got jet lagged and you're zombie-like I was a week and a half ago. You struggle to get out of bed in the morning, even though you're not injured, you're not ill, okay? I can understand people have an extra half an hour, an extra hour in bed on a Sunday morning, because ordinarily, unless you work in retail, people don't have to get up to clock in at the office or in the workplace on a Sunday at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So I can understand that. And if that extra hour in bed is spent in a good deep sleep, then it's probably more beneficial, yeah? But ordinarily, people wake up Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday and they struggle to get out of bed, okay? And there's a multitude of reasons for that. It could be you've got low testosterone, your hormones are messed up, you're unhealthily overweight, so even getting out of bed in the morning to take a shower, take a bath, brush your teeth, you know, walk down the stairs and prep your breakfast for the day, even that can be tiring if you're unhealthily overweight or unhealthily underweight even, okay? You struggle to get out of bed and you blame, it's November the 3rd, so therefore it's dark outside, so I'm going to struggle to get out of bed. You've told yourself that. That is a level of unfit. You know, that's another reason why you can gauge that you're unfit. Because fit people, physically fit people, people that work out, people that play sports, eat healthy, go to bed early enough, could still want an extra line in the morning, but they might wait until Sunday, or even at a push on Saturday as well. We tend to get out of bed, the alarm goes off, you get up, you take your cold shower, take your hot shower, brush your teeth, go to work. Yep, okay. That's actually quite another tell. But again, you've not got to be overweight. You could actually be in quite good shape to look at, but if you're struggling to get out of bed, rain or shine, there's a problem. It could be depression, anxiety, it could be a musculoskeletal disorder, you know, spine injury, leg injury, hip injury, so you're more unlikely to want to jump out of bed and start doing backflips. That's not going to happen anyhow. All right, so number 2 is you struggle to get out of bed. What's interesting, number 1 and number 2 are both ordinarily in the home. Yeah, they're both signs that you can pick up quickly about what you're like in your own home. Okay, another sign that you're unfit is the eye test. Okay, and that's you're not 95 years of age, you're not 85, you're not even 75. You're 60 or below. You're 16, 16, up to 60. Okay, we've got what, 40 years to choose from there, 44 years to choose from there. Okay, and you've got jowls, big droopy jowls, blags underneath your eyes, and a double chin. Okay, that's another sign, because that means not only are you overweight, that you've got poor skin as well. Remember, the skin is an organ. It's the biggest organ in the body, and you should take care of it. Now, I'm not saying that, guys, you should rush out and buy those expensive, glamorous skin beauty products that the women buy off Amazon or off, out of shops. I'm not saying that, but look after your skin. Get some sunlight, drink plenty of water, and if need be, moisturize. Yeah. I held out on using moisturiser up until my late 20s, I think. I thought it was for just for girls and women, but when you get sunburnt, you soon realise that we do need it. And as I've got older and I wash my hands a lot in my line of work, you have to moisturise your hands to look after them, even in the summer, not just in winter. So yeah, you've got a double chin or a triple chin, bags under your eyes, and big droopy jowls. You'd be surprised, I've seen people like that in their teens and 20s. Yeah, that's another sign you're unfit. You're dehydrated, you've got bad skin, you don't sleep properly, you don't exercise, you're carrying excess fatty tissue in the face and the jaw and around the neck. Okay, and of course that leads to poor sleep as well. That can lead towards sleep apnea. That may be the eye test or the aesthetics, but it is something to take into account. And if that's you, do something about it. Don't leave it. That's number 3. Number 4, you've always got a bad back. One of the biggest reasons people take time off sick in the UK, in the last 5 or 6 years, maybe a bit more, daytime TV and certain TV channels and radio channels would tell us it's poor mental health, anxiety or depression. Whilst that may be a factor in today's society, another one is back injury or spinal injuries or lower back pain. Back pain is one of the biggest reasons people ring in sick to work or don't participate in anything that requires a low level or even medium level of exertion. Back pain, lumbar spine, mid-thoracic, cervical spine, the neck. Let's class the neck as part of the spine, the sacral area, even the top of the glutes. Okay, so from the back of your head to the base of your spine. I've had back pain. I've injured my back in martial arts, basketball, golf, weightlifting, trekking, climbing, anything. Okay, that's self-induced. That's my fault. I've done it to myself from pushing my body too hard sometimes. But actually back pain, I'm fine at the moment, touch wood, is another reason. And you may ask yourself, well, does that mean I'm unfit? Yeah. If you've got a back injury and a bad back and it's stopping you from doing things, at that moment in time, by definition, you're unfit. You've got poor musculoskeletal strength, but actually back pain can also lead to poor mental health as well. It can lead to anxiety and depression. If you've got sciatica, an impingement of the sciatic nerve, it can drive some people doolally. And over here, doolally means insane or mad or around the bend. So it can bring you to tears, especially if it's chronic and it's long term and you've got to stop working, stop doing your sport or stop, doing anything, picking up kids. If you've got young children, toddlers or babies or whatever, back pain as well. And often the case within back pain, it's not sports or work-related injuries. Quite often, it's lack of activity, as in someone who sits down all day to go to work and they sit down in their car, sit down at home to have their dinner, sit down to watch TV, and then lay down to go to bed, and then repeat that 5-6 days a week. And on top of that, that person is overweight. They're carrying too much fatty tissue around the body, the abdominals, the waist, the back, and that heavy fat, excess fatty tissue doesn't contract like muscle, and so therefore you've now got a weak core, and the core is the clavicle down to the pelvis and all the way around. The core isn't just your abdominal region, you've got a weak trunk in the body. You take your head, arms and legs off, that's what's left, the core, and if that's weak through injury or lack of activity, and on top of that being overweight, it's going to be a sort of snowball effect where even your cardiovascular fitness and your blood circulatory system and your nervous system start to become impaired. And that all comes from back pain and back injuries. So my advice is to do something about it. Find a professional, do something about it. So what we've got, you don't like walking up the stairs. You find it hard to get out of bed in the morning. You suffer from, regular back pain or chronic back pain. Even acute back pain is still back pain, back injury. Okay, let's look at another one. And of course, we looked at the aesthetics. Your face is overweight, double chin, baggy eyes, saggy chin, saggy jaw, poor skin. That's another one. Okay, so number 5. This is in no particular order. Yeah, another sign you're unfit. And I don't think many people watching my channel are going to guess what I'm going to say. I would ask you to write down 10 things you think I'm going to say. I'm going to bet half of my record collection that you're not going to think of this. Yep. Okay, it's quite a strange one, but as a professional of 17 years now in my line of work as a trainer and a therapist, I've learned there's another sign that you're unfit. Ready? Here it goes. You hang out and socialize by decision or choice with equally unfit people. Yep, I said it. Yeah, you become, or you surround yourself with like-minded people. We're sort of born and designed to do that. I surround myself with fit, healthy people. All right, if someone comes into my practice, my center, wanting to lose weight or get over an injury, at that moment they're unfit, but they become fit because they've surrounded themselves by me or my staff, my therapists, and my trainers. They've bought into something new and better for them. One of the biggest signs that you're unfit is that most of your personal friends, maybe even family, but people that you choose to associate with are unfit. Now you might be watching or listening to this and thinking, well, hang on, and you'll be able to go through your mental Rolodex and straight away think of a dozen people that you spend time with that are fit, okay? That's different. If you're in a workplace and you've got 10 people in the office and 7 of them work out and play sport, that's different, that's by default, unless you leave that company. I'm talking about the people that you hang around with outside, the people that you go to the movies with, to dinner with, on holiday with, go for your teas, your coffee, talk on the phone in the evenings and weekends. If most of your friends or people that you associate with are unfit outside the workplace, that's another reason why you'll be unfit. You become a product of the people around you. Not on every occasion, but often, yeah? So there's 5 signs. There's probably another 100 signs. I've just picked 5 for you to think about. And if one of those strikes a nerve with you, feel free to contact me on my channel and ask me, okay? Give me your thoughts and opinions. You can contact me on my channel, Health No Filter, on YouTube, or you can listen to me on Spotify or Amazon. Just get out there, make a comment, like it, dislike it. Your comment could be negative. I won't take it as negative. I'll take it as you thought it was negative by giving me a comment like that. I'll take it as a positive and work with you for free. I'll give you my advice as a professional. And actually someone who's got a little bit of empathy and sympathy, even for someone that I don't know or I've never met. But that's it. There's the 5 signs. I'm going to come back with 5 more signs on the next one. My name's Tristan Lowe, and the channel is Health No Filter. You can find me at Good Condition Lincoln, or you can find me YouTube, Spotify, or Amazon. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe. Bye for now.